The Green Bay Packers find themselves at a critical juncture as we delve into the stark reality of their draft history under general manager Brian Gutekunst. It's a reality that no one wants to confront, yet it's essential for the future of the franchise. As we explore this topic, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Let's get your thoughts on this pressing issue. The Pro Bowl, while not the definitive measure of a player's value, serves as a significant barometer in the NFL. And right now, the Packers are coming up empty. According to a compelling statistic shared by Tony Halsman-Escareno, the Packers have 0 Pro Bowlers on their current roster that they drafted. That's right, absolutely none. Meanwhile, teams like the Philadelphia Eagles have 8, and the Detroit Lions, fresh off their back-to-back NFC North championships, boast 7. It's not just embarrassing, it's a glaring indictment of the Packers' draft strategy over the past several years. To put it in perspective, Gutekunst's tenure began with promise. He landed Jaire Alexander in 2018, and in 2019, he brought in Elgton Jenkins and Rashawn Gary, both of whom were expected to become cornerstones of this franchise. Yet, since then, the Packers have gone a staggering 0-4-61 in terms of drafting Pro Bowl talent. That's 61 picks without a single Pro Bowler to show for it. Sure, you can argue that Jordan Love had a commendable third year as a starter, finishing 5th in passer rating last season. He was in the conversation, but ultimately lost out to names like Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott for Pro Bowl honors. And let's not forget the standout performances from Tucker Kraft before his injury or Zach Tom's impressive showing in All-Pro voting. But even if these players had made the Pro Bowl, the Packers would still be lagging behind the league average. The facts are clear. Drafting good players isn't enough. The Packers need to be drafting great players if they want to compete at the highest level. Gutekunst has done well to assemble a team that has reached the playoffs 3 seasons in a row, yet the absence of true game changers is alarming. The only Pro Bowlers on the current roster are acquisitions from outside the organization, like the blockbuster trade for Micah Parsons, which cost the team 2 first-round picks and other significant resources. This approach raises serious questions about the effectiveness of the drafting process in Green Bay. While Gutekunst has had some success with players like Quay Walker and Romeo Doubs, the trend of hits versus misses in the draft remains troubling. The issue is that these hits often feel more like singles and doubles rather than the game-changing home runs that can elevate a franchise. With dismal drafts in 2020 and 2021, where only Jordan Love remains on the roster, this has undoubtedly hurt the team's depth and overall potential. However, it appears that Gutekunst might be finding his rhythm again with the 2022 class, as significant contracts are on the horizon for players like Watson and Wyatt. Looking ahead, the 2023 draft didn't yield the same depth of talent, with only Kraft set for a big second contract, but there's potential in Lucas Van Ness and Jayden Reed if they can step up this season. The 2024 draft class, featuring players like Jordan Morgan, Jaron Cooper, and Javon Bullard, could also play crucial roles moving forward. It's important to note the historical context here. The Packers are the only team in the NFL without a Pro Bowler that they drafted themselves. As we look at the upcoming schedule, it's daunting. The Packers will face teams that have a plethora of homegrown Pro Bowl talent. With no first-round pick this year, breaking this streak will be a substantial challenge. The numbers are stark. The 9 teams with better Super Bowl odds than the Packers have a combined total of 43 Pro Bowlers they drafted, averaging nearly 5 each. The Packers need to elevate their game, not just in terms of roster construction, but also in the drafting process. It's time to step up, and the urgency is palpable as we move forward. As we transition to our next segment, let's keep this momentum going. The Packers need to address these glaring issues head-on if they want to reclaim their status as perennial contenders in the NFL. The clock is ticking for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the pressure is mounting for quarterback Aaron Rodgers as he faces an ultimatum regarding his future. With reports circulating that he still hasn't made up his mind about playing this season, the Steelers president, Art Rooney II, has made it clear that he needs an answer, and he needs it now. The draft is looming, and indecision is not an option for a franchise that has been searching for stability at the quarterback position for far too long. Rodgers' performance last season was undeniably an upgrade for the Steelers, showcasing his ability to lead the team to a 10-6 record and a playoff berth. He completed 65.7% of his passes, racked up over 3,300 yards, and threw 24 touchdowns against just 7 interceptions. But let's be honest, While those numbers seem impressive on the surface, they don't tell the whole story. The Steelers were knocked out in the wild card round yet again, and with a limited receiving core, it's hard to argue against the fact that Rodgers may not be able to recapture the elite form he once displayed during his prime in Green Bay. Now, as Rodgers approaches his 43rd birthday, the question remains, is he still a difference maker? The Steelers have to weigh their options carefully. If Rodgers turns them down, it's crucial to note that his leverage might not be as strong as he thinks. The reality is stark. His choices boil down to playing for Pittsburgh or hanging up his cleats for good. The offseason landscape is sparse, and the Steelers need to move forward, not wait indefinitely for a decision that could very well affect their entire draft strategy. With 2025 sixth-round pick Will Howard on the roster and veteran Mason Rudolph still in the fold as a reliable backup, the Steelers have contingency plans in place should Rodgers opt out. They could take a serious look at Howard, giving him a chance to show what he can bring to the table. Meanwhile, Rudolph offers a steady hand if needed, ensuring that the team isn't left scrambling without a competent signal caller. Moreover, the Steelers could explore adding another quarterback through the draft, either to develop for the long term or simply to bolster their depth. The longer they wait for Rodgers, the more it appears they're allowing a player to dictate their timeline, a move that could backfire spectacularly. This is a franchise that prides itself on decisiveness and a winning tradition, and appearing indecisive in the face of uncertainty only empowers someone who may not be the superstar he once was. Let's not overlook the tantalizing storyline of a potential reunion with Mike McCarthy, Rodgers' former coach, and a man who led him to a Super Bowl victory against the Steelers. While that narrative would certainly capture headlines, it doesn't change the reality that the Packers' former Golden Boy is no longer the same player who could turn a game on its head. The bottom line is simple. The Steelers would likely be better off looking ahead rather than taking a gamble on a second season with Rodgers. As we dive deeper into the implications of this ultimatum, let's consider how the fans are reacting. Are you in favor of giving Rodgers another shot? Or is it time for the Steelers to move on? Where are you watching from? And what's your take on the situation? The time for decisions is upon us, and the Steelers must choose wisely. Next, we'll take a look at another critical aspect of the offseason and what it could mean for the future of the franchise. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the swirling vortex of NFL draft speculation. There's a compelling narrative unfolding that could have major implications for the Green Bay Packers. The latest buzz is centered on the Arizona Cardinals and their potential interest in Notre Dame running back Love. If they decide to keep that coveted number 3 pick, it seems they might look to bolster their backfield with the explosive talent of Love, a player many scouts see as a game changer. But let's not kid ourselves. This could all be smoke and mirrors. The Cardinals may very well be leaking this information to gauge interest from teams desperate to land a dynamic back. After all, Love, standing at 6 feet and weighing 212 pounds, ranked 8th in the FBS in rushing yards last season with an impressive 1,372 yards. The Cardinals' re-signing of James Conner for a year at $3 million might not be enough to alleviate concerns after his season-ending injury last September. With Arizona's rushing attack languishing at 31st in the league, adding Love could inject the necessary life into a stagnant offense. Now, for Packers fans, this is a situation to watch closely. If the Cardinals do make that move, it could shift the dynamics of the NFC North. The Packers need to stay competitive, especially as other teams look to improve their rosters. The draft is a critical moment, and rumors like this raise the stakes. Where are you watching from today? Let us know in the comments below, and we want to hear your thoughts on this potential pick by the Cardinals. Continuing along the draft narrative, there are whispers that some intriguing names like Reese and Bailey could drop down the board, particularly if the New York Jets decide to pass on them. The Cardinals, holding that 4th overall pick, and the Titans also have significant choices to make. Bailey has garnered attention for his 19.5 tackles for loss in 2025, while Reese has also put together an impressive season. The Giants, who now own the 5th pick after trading Dexter Lawrence too, might opt for a different direction entirely, possibly looking for offensive weapons to support their young quarterback, Jackson Dart. Let's not overlook the implications for Green Bay. As teams like the Giants and Cardinals maneuver, the Packers must remain vigilant. With the possibility of other teams trading up and snagging top prospects, it's vital for the Packers to assess their options. They may need to make bold moves to secure their future, especially if offensive weapons or defensive anchors slip through the cracks. As the draft approaches, there's also talk about Malagoa, an offensive tackle projected to go early despite a concerning injury. His herniated disc could sideline him for part of the upcoming season, which may deter some teams from taking a chance on him. Yet his 87 pass blocking grade in 2025 speaks volumes about his potential. For Green Bay, an offensive lineman of his caliber could be pivotal in protecting their franchise quarterback and establishing a more robust running game. And then we have Peyton, who has caught the eye of many scouts. His athleticism and potential make him a fascinating prospect, despite concerns about his limited starting experience at the FCS level. The Packers have a history of developing talent, and if Peyton were to slip down the draft board, could they see an opportunity to bring in a quarterback prospect with the potential to learn behind a veteran? As we analyze these developments, it's essential to remember that the draft is a chess game. Teams are positioning themselves strategically, and the Packers must be proactive, not reactive. They need to assess potential trades, keep an eye on rising talents, and make calculated decisions that will enhance their roster for the coming seasons. As we wrap up this discussion about the upcoming draft and its implications for the Green Bay Packers, it's clear that a pivotal moment is on the horizon. The rumors swirling around potential trades and picks will shape the NFC North landscape. The Packers need to be ready to seize opportunities that come their way. So what do you think? Will the Packers make a bold move in the draft? What positions do you feel need the most attention? We want to hear your thoughts. Comment below on where you're watching from and share your opinions on how Green Bay should approach the draft this year. And don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates and analysis on your favorite team. Together, let's navigate this thrilling draft season